Welcome everyone who is hello and thank you for joining us today. My name is Peta, your host from Soul Tribe Collective, and we are honored to be joined by the beautiful Sue Greenwald from Awakened Stories, and also the host of, now what is it, the Empowered Light Holistic Expo.
Yes.
Hello, Sue. Thank you
How
for
are
joining.
you? Thank you for
I'm
having me.
well.
Yeah.
Can we start by asking just a little bit about your background so people
Okay.
know who you are and what you're
Okay.
about?
All right. So I created the Empowered Light Holistic Expo, which is a spiritual and holistic expo specifically in the Northeast, although I had expanded it out, and I was expanding it in 2020, of course, right before the pandemic hit us. So I stopped the expo. I was forced to stop the expo because we need thousands of people to make it successful. And at this point, I haven't been guided to start it up again just yet. I hope someday, but not just yet. So then I was guided, and I always point to the sky when I say this. In February, March of last year, it was kind of like a really strong impulse to create Awakened Stories, which is a blog site and a video channel about mostly my personal experiences with extraterrestrials, angels,
Yes.
paranormal experiences, that sort of thing. So I've written blogs and I've done interviews myself with other people about how they've awakened or their cool, unusual stories. And
Awesome.
it's really so fun to do. And I just love doing it.
Oh,
So
I can tell. I've read some of your, your work
yeah,
on your blog, and I've also definitely been subscribed to your channel, and it's incredible the people you interview and the stories that you have.
right.
And it's just sharing that information, which is so valuable right now
Right.
because everyone is kind of going through a point of turmoil in the world. And I guess we're all looking for answers,
Right.
and to connect to source, and I guess find that faith and that trust within ourselves that it's all going to be all right.
Right.
It's all for a
Yeah.
reason, a higher
Yeah.
purpose. Yeah. Yeah. So today, Sue, I wanted to specifically focus in on Source Directives, Holotech Products created by Smarty, or King John Mendez Smarty, otherwise known as Sananda Galactic throughout the
Right.
universe.
Right.
I recently discovered Source Directives, the Jedi method, and all of these frequencies to heal the world. And I was kind of blown away. So I'm definitely now on board with it all. And I would really like to know about your experiences with it to begin with.
Okay.
But let's maybe start with how you found Source Directives, how you found Smarty or
All
John
right.
Mendez.
All right. So I'm going to back up a little bit prior
Okay.
to what we've just talked about. So
Sure.
I, lived we'll call it a mainstream, a normal life, although I was born intuitive, empathic, with psychic abilities and blah, 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 which no one talked about. I had a lot of unusual experiences as a kid and as a young adult, and I was always driven to learn more and find out more. I was very interested in extraterrestrials,
You're a truth
UFOs,
seeker. Yeah.
fairies, like all the things that are in my website and
Yeah.
on my posts and all of that. I was always very interested in that. And so I worked, regular jobs, and I'm a people person, but I learned yoga, meditation, nutrition, and all of that. And that was really my passion. So I left like the corporate work, lifestyle, if you will.
Yeah.
And I created my own yoga studio, which I had for about 10 years outside of the Philadelphia area.
Beautiful.
So not only did we do yoga, nutrition, massage, dance, meditation, and all of that, which is cool enough.
All
Right?
the fun stuff. Yeah.
I led classes on crystals, angels, energy healing. So I learned Reiki and several flavors of Reiki, pranic healing, Arcturian healing, all sorts of different healing modalities.
Yeah.
So I learned about energy, and I could feel the energy and how to heal using energy. And for me, it was really like a no-brainer. It was very natural. And I would learn different modalities and teach them and all that. Also, with my yoga studio, I would host, people like famous people, if you will, authors, and from all over the country / world at my studio, and they would come and they would speak and they would do different specialty events, and it was the ultimate. All right. And then I was, again, guided, if you will, to start the Empowered Light Holistic Expo, which I didn't want to do. I set that up after a few months of dragging my feet. It was super successful. It's all only spiritual or holistic vendors or speakers are allowed.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
So it was great to do that. It was a great experience. I definitely miss doing them and the people.
Yeah.
But so I did the expos and the yoga studio simultaneously for about 1.5 2 years. Wow. And then I let the yoga studio go.
Right.
So then I focused primarily on the expos, and I was going to grow them and make them, regional, then, around the country, then the world.
Expand it.
Yeah, with we'll call them famous speakers, if you will.
Well, they are in the exopolitics and the spiritual sort of communities. These people are very big. Like I'm fangirling on all the people that you've had.
Yeah.
It's incredible. Yeah.
It is so fun. And there's so many that I haven't even put out there. Like I've had people from the Edgar Casey ARE speak. And, I actually drove down there and I, went in there and I set up meetings with everybody and asked them to come and speak. And I've had, a lot of authors speak that we would call famous and all of that. So it was so fun doing these expos. So to get back to your question, I was in a session, which I don't usually get to attend because I'm the one doing everything. Everything's a crisis during the expo for me.
It sounds stressful. So
it's a little stressful. It's like it's pretty busy. So I was in the back of the room and John Mendez, Smarty, stood up and asked some questions. And I looked at him. He was, about 10 people over. And I was like, I'd love to talk with him after this event, Then I got called out of the room. So, that was out of my head in 2 seconds. Well, he called me roughly a week later. All right. So I knew who he was when he called. He called and said, do you have a minute? And are you energy sensitive? And I said, yes. So he sent me a holo on my cell phone while we were talking. And I felt the energy blasting from that thing. And as we talked, I felt his energy.
Yeah.
So we talked and he said, I'm Sananda Galactic. And I'm like, my jaw dropped. I'm like, holy shit. Yes.
I just got chills when you said it because I'm getting my own validation here. Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I got to go check this out. Right.
Yeah.
So he lived about 45 minutes from where I lived. I went out and met him from lunch or whatever. And I would go out periodically for 2 or 3 years to, whenever I could get time with him, I would go out there and just hang out with him or whatever, but ask questions, just, it was so fun and really the ultimate, in my opinion. Yeah. So I wanted to help him, again, I'm thinking small at this point. I'm thinking human. This is how the world works when I met him. Yes. Well, it's going to be so different than the way I was thinking, but I was like, I want to help him become a speaker and get out to the world and get his information out to the world. So he spoke in a smaller room at the next expo, and it was filled with people. It was a great talk that he did. It wasn't a very attractive room. It was like a bare naked room, fluorescent. I'm sorry about that, but I was, trying to save money. And then the next expo, he spoke at a bigger room, and it was jammed,
packed.
His talk was amazing. Now, during these expos, he would have a booth there, and he would have his products there. And people flocked to his booth. Now, they didn't know really who he was or what he was doing. But
they could feel the energy.
They felt the energy and they were attracted to his booth. And of course, he's got an amazing personality.
Yeah, he's funny.
Fun. He's loving. You feel that when you're talking with him.
Yeah.
He had people like flocking to his booth. So that was cool. And then they went to his talks, and the talks like the next time I think he had a better presentation. Like it
Hmm.
got better each time.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
um he was probably a speaker, I don't know, 3 or 4 times. I don't really remember details anymore.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
met a few of the Jedis.
Okay.
He's at my expo, which was so fun.
Ah,
And during the expos, we would have people slash ETs or whoever come in that didn't always have our highest and best good in mind. So
right.
um, I would ask him to help me clear, because one of the things I would do was consistently clear the energetic field of the expo. Because
Yeah.
obviously they don't want our success. They don't want people to
They
hear.
don't want it getting out there, the
Right.
information that these
Yeah.
frequencies are available, that
Yeah,
this person, this being is here to help us
exactly.
all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they don't want us to be successful. They don't want people to even know about the expo or that it's there or to get in. Like so we had to consistently clear and clean the energetic field of the expo floor and all of that. So and I had other people that helped me, but he was
Yeah.
instrumental because we had a lot of interesting people
I
slash
bet.
creatures come through. Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
And
I can only imagine.
yeah, and I'm just one person. I'm zipping around trying to keep everybody happy and the evil dark things out of there, and so
My
super fun,
goodness.
super fun.
Yeah.
So that's how I met Smarty, and
Okay.
he told me during that first phone call who he was, and I jolted, and I'm like, oh my God, he's telling me the truth.
Yeah. You had that real, like that.
And I
Yeah.
knew who he was. Like
Yep.
after that, it was like, oh my God. And so I'd
Incredible.
go over to meet with him as often as he would allow. And
Incredible.
yeah, it was so, I'm so honored to have met him
Yeah.
that way.
Oh, I can't wait to meet him in person. That's going to be amazing. Yeah.
Since doing those expos, now that, I'm not doing them, I've realized that there were two reasons I was guided to do that, maybe more. I always thought it was to bring this information and community to the people, which is
Yeah.
really what my goal was. And, I did do that, but I really think it was to gain that experience of putting them together, because it was there's a lot of moving parts.
Mm.
The other thing was, I really think it was to meet Smarty,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
wow, was that cool when I realized who he was. So I have a daughter that's extremely psychic, and I asked her only a billion times, is he who he says? Is he telling
Yeah.
the truth? Because, like it's such a big thing.
It
And it's
is.
really not,
It's mind blowing. It is. You
yeah,
can't use your head. You can't. You have to use
yeah,
this,
yeah,
and this. So
yeah.
yeah,
And
yeah.
who am I to meet like the king of our galaxy? Oh my
It's
God.
humbling, isn't it? Yeah.
It's mind blowing.
Mm.
So we'd often have, lunch, breakfast, we'd go to his cousin's shop, or we just hang out. And it was like some of the highlights of those years hanging out with him. And we would have these really deep conversations. He'd show me video. Um, I've talked before on some video about how he would ask me to ask my daughter to confirm whether X, Y, or Z was true. Like he'd show me a
Wow.
picture and he'd say, was this real? And blah, blah, blah. Did this happen? And I'd text her, call her, and she'd say yes. And we go back and forth, and
Amazing.
she would confirm everything for him. And that was cool.
Yeah.
And one time she came with us to have lunch or breakfast, and she told him that he was going to be on Earth at least 1,000 years. And I know he didn't love to hear that at the time, right? And then
Yeah.
so I go home, and I don't know what else she said to him that day because I was running around, but it hits me intuitively. He's going to be here 1,000 years, because what's going to happen is the
Yeah.
bad
Everything's
guys are
changing.
they're going to go dormant, right? And make us think that they've gone away. And then they're going to pop back in and do the same thing to us that they did before. So I told him about that, and he goes, oh no, we're handling that. He was on top
Yeah.
of it. So
Oh,
that's
I
cool.
love that.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, our new reality is coming and it's coming fast. And
Yeah.
we're not going to be going back. This is our
Right.
last cycle,
Right.
as Smarty says. So
Yeah.
it's a really, really
So cool.
amazing time to be alive. Yeah.
Yeah. So cool. And like I said, I'm so honored. And, like I didn't know back then, like I wanted to help him, but I didn't understand. This is like a planetary thing. This is not
This is
like,
big. Yeah.
it's not just a few thousand people. Like it's bigger.
Yeah.
I could understand at the time. And, it is what it is. We had to start
Yeah.
somewhere, right? And
Yeah.
practice. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because we will be going out into the universe once Earth has been
Yeah.
liberated fully, which is just so
Yes.
exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially for those of
Absolutely.
us that have been really interested in extraterrestrials and the
Right.
universe at large and
Right.
what's really going on around there,
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I might steer you towards maybe some of your use cases for Holotech products.
Okay.
I understand you've got quite a few. Yeah, quite a few.
I went away for a few weeks and I had a friend stay here and she said, your house is very healing and soothing. And I was laughing inside because you have no idea.
Yeah, hidden in
So,
all the little places
yeah.
around. Yeah.
So for those that don't know, Smarty has a website. The easy one to remember is Smarty's Corner. And
Yeah.
that's Smarty with a YS corner.com.
We'll be
Or the
linking that down below. Yeah.
Yep. Or I think the other one is the Company of Heaven official.com. And he has products that you can purchase, or he has free products. And I use both.
Yeah.
So I have a Smarty charm. I have the Flower of Life men's size silver pendant on. I wear this 23/7. I take it off when I go to the gym because it's heavy and it will hit you in the teeth when you bend over. So
Yeah.
I take it off at the gym.
Chip a tooth.
And then I always wear these two bracelets, which I love.
Beautiful.
Like pretty much 24/7. I wear them. So these pieces of jewelry were extremely inexpensive. They have billions of healing and protective frequencies in them. So they're always in my field healing me, but they're also transmitting their frequencies to those that I'm around. So if I go out into the crowd or to the grocery store or wherever I'm going, the people and whatever plants, animals around me are also getting healing.
They're absorbing all of those frequencies. And it's amazing.
Yeah.
I've got one charm, it's my first thing that I've actually purchased.
Yeah.
And how many people comment and children come up and they grab it and they want to touch it. They can feel the energy. Yeah. It's wild.
So like I said, I wear this. Now I live in Sedona, so I'm outside a lot hiking or whatever. I literally will get at least one compliment a day on this charm. So I pretty much give out the website information to everyone, and hopefully a bunch of people have bought them, but we need
little cards to give out. Just little made up cards just in our wallets.
They're so inexpensive, especially when they have a sale. How could you not purchase? Really? So you don't have to spend a penny with Smarty, but to me, this is a passive and easy way to heal myself and those around me. So I've had people say, like, when I tell them my age, they're always surprised because I feel like I'm pretty healthy and I look younger than I really am.
You're beautiful. Look at your skin. You're glowing.
Yeah. So I like that. And I always tell them about the products, and a lot of them look at me like, right. But I'll hand it to some of them that are energy sensitive, and they'll jolt. They feel the energy immediately.
Yeah.
And
and I do love that we can always start off, telling people about the free downloads on his website, with the holograms. Just if they are cautious or skeptical, why not start there? It's free, there's nothing to lose. So
on Smarty's website, they have what we call hollows, which are there's specific frequencies. Like this is, beautiful. I think this sheet has 740 or something like that hollows on it. So they're tiny. Doesn't matter the size, but I printed this. Somebody made this. I don't actually even remember who in our group. And they made this. I printed it at Walgreens for like 25 cents or something.
Awesome.
And what I've done, so this has 700 and whatever, 40, let's say, different frequencies, healing, protective, whatever it is. Okay. So I printed a bunch of these, and I literally taped them under my desk, my chair, where I sit, where I sleep, wherever I'm spending time. Right.
That's awesome.
And I've got, and I don't, there's some really beautiful, like have different themes. And I don't actually remember
Wow.
what this one was,
All
but
right.
like this is ultimate hair growth. This one.
Oh yeah, I need that.
Okay.
I went and
And
cut
these,
mine off.
I think this one is for brain frequencies and upgraded, frequencies. All right. So
Incredible.
they're pretty and
Yeah.
they have different themes. So
Different
I've just given
functions
you
and themes.
like
Yeah.
this one is creativity. Okay. So
I
I've
love
just
that.
printed a bunch of these. These are free and you
Mhm.
can use them from your phone or your device. And what I've done is I printed them and taped them all over at different areas of my home. And then what I've also done is when I travel, I take these with me. All right. So
Amazing. Yeah.
these are free. I stick them in a baggie because that's the cheaters version. You really should laminate them to protect them. But
Yeah.
I'll take them with me, like if I'm going to a hotel or to someone's house. I want to bring the vibe up in that area with the healing and protective frequencies.
Do you ever do the old ninja, like pop something, pop some holograms under people's mattress? I've been doing it to people that I know.
Uh-huh.
So sneaky.
I
Why not?
I can't say, but of course I do. I
Not
put in,
me.
and even like where my cat sleeps, I put these sheets under like around the cat's beds and blah 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 blah. You
Amazing.
know, and so I just wrote a testimonial the other day. I have a bunch of the hollows for vitamins and food freshness and all of that in my refrigerator and in my pantry closet. Like I said, I've got these all over my house. They are
Wow.
free, and I've just it does cost a quarter or so to print these, but I put them all over in various spots. Well, the other day I've been traveling a lot with the holidays, so I left a bunch of celery, organic celery in the bottom of my fridge.
Mm.
Totally, totally forgot about it.
Yeah.
So it might have been yesterday or the day before. I find it and I'm thinking, oh, that's not going to be good.
It's like a science experiment here.
It was fresh and crisp, and I'm not
Wow.
lying. I actually ate it. So
Amazing.
yeah. So I have, like I said, the frequencies all over the house. So
Mm.
one other thing I've done, and these are old, okay, so these are like maybe 3 years old, is one of our Jedi friends created these sheets. Okay, so I think there's 11 or 12, and I sent them to Staples and asked them to print them in, I think this is 11 by 17,
Yeah, it's
and
a nice
then
big one.
and
Mm.
these are all free hollows, okay?
Yep.
So I asked them to print it and then laminate it, okay? So then I've
Beautiful.
stacked all of these. I think there's like 11 sheets here, okay?
Yeah.
So
Look at
I
them.
don't remember how many there are. There's a bunch of hollows. This cost me less than $20. And I
Yeah.
use it as a placemat, so
Awesome.
that it's cool. But again, my food, my beverages are always getting these free healing frequencies.
Wow. I
So,
love that. I love it. It's so practical. It's so easy and it's
yeah,
it's cheap if
yeah.
not free. I mean, I've got a printer and a laminator here, so it's
Yeah.
free.
Yeah,
I love it.
it's basically I think I probably spent about $2 a sheet. I think that's what I spent.
My baby's just woken up, Sue. We
Okay.
might just pause for a moment. All
Yeah,
right, so moving on from there, I know we were just talking about the free things that are available,
right.
which are all those beautiful holograms that you have strategically placed around your house for the frequencies, which I think
Right,
is awesome.
right.
Um, do we want to talk about perhaps the wands and some of the
Yes,
other products we have available? Yeah,
yes, right.
very
So
interesting.
so Smarty had created a variety of different healing wands. Okay, so they're medical healing wands. And this one is a Gen L2. If you have to go, yes.
Beautiful.
All right. And this is the stealth wand, which is my favorite because it's small and you can wand people without them knowing. I love this one. And you can
Yeah.
tuck it into your pockets or your purse super easy. There's a metal wand, which I take when I'm going to be outside and I could easily drop my wand. So this is great. But basically, all you would do is point to the person, animal, or event that needs healing and kind of wave the wand around it with your intention. Now, if you
Beautiful.
know that a person is sick and has a specific issue, you would wand that body part. But
Right.
let's just say you see somebody and they're limping or whatever, you could just wand them without knowing and just give them a blast of good energy to help heal them.
Amazing.
So,
I love
yeah,
it.
I
And
love
you've
it.
had some experiences with actually seeing that healing,
Yes.
the evidence of it later
Yes.
on, right?
Yes.
Yeah, amazing.
So a friend of mine was trail running in Sedona and fell and got seriously hurt. And we were going to an outdoor music festival all day long. And she still wanted me to pick her up, like within minutes of getting, like she was bloody.
Oh,
She was limping. She could hardly walk. She was in pain. And she's like me, stubborn, and wanted to go anyway. So I had this wand, which I was going to go with anyway. I had it already.
yeah.
I just wanded her like for a while as we were walking around or as we were sitting there. I would wave the wand around. And of course, I wanded pretty much the whole festival, the whole day. But
Yeah.
I wanded her continuously while we were hanging, and I'd go and do whatever I was doing. Within about 2 hours, she was dancing to the music.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was amazing.
Oh,
Yeah. So
that
I
really
mean,
changed the outcome of her day, because that would have been not a very nice experience. And, you know,
Yeah.
she got to
Yeah.
enjoy it. That's incredible.
Yes, exactly.
That was
So that
fast
was a
too.
very
Yeah.
dramatic because literally, like, she's pretty strong and healthy. She was kind of a mess, to be honest, and probably shouldn't have gone.
She
But
was really keen.
yes, yes. So those are great products. Now, the one of my favorite fun ones is the Smarty straws. So these
Yeah.
are straws. Obviously, you drink out of them, but they have the same healing frequencies that the charms and the bracelets and that do. So for those people that don't love jewelry, this is a great way to charge
Charge your water.
So one of
And
the
just get it
big
straight in. Yeah.
one of the big things we forgot to talk about earlier is with these free hollows.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
This is like only like the major
Hello.
thing. You print out the hollow. Let's say you have a specific health issue or whatever. You print out the hollow and you have your glass of water next to it and put it near your water for roughly a minute. Now you can do this directly from your device as well. I'm old school. I like the paper. That's why I have them taped under my table, because they're blasting these frequencies. So the straw does the same thing.
I love that. I love that. It is fun.
It's fun. Now, another thing that I have, and I've dropped mine a billion times, is the crystalline frequency generator. It's an octagon and it's got the flower of life design on it. And you can see I've chipped mine day one. I think it dropped and whatever. But so if somebody has a healing issue or an emotional issue or an event, a world event or whatever, what we've been taught to do is to print their picture or have it on our phone and put this crystalline frequency generator on our phone or the picture. And it will help heal them to their source directives.
It heals their etheric body first. So, and then what happens is that manifests into our physical body, just like anything with energy, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And that's really important for people to know.
Because they're not going to see it straight away. Like they need to understand.
It may take time to experience the healing, and there's many factors involved, but you know, like this is like what I call the cheater's version. So I would print the picture or, you know, again, use my device, put this on, and sometimes I'll test to say, are they done? Are they healed or whatever? Now, I've also used this for world events or whatever. Okay. So let's say there's a crisis or something we want to manifest or whatever it might be. I will write it on a clean,
like an intention, or
on a plain piece of paper and put this on there. Or let's say I don't have a person's photo or an animal or whoever's hurt or needs healing. I will put their name on a plain piece of paper and put this on there, and it will assist them. The picture is really better, but this is still good. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's Source's energy. He knows, you know, he knows everyone. He knows who you're talking about. Yeah.
So we're using Source's energy, and like I even stack these sometimes. Like if I have to leave the house, I'll put these on someone's picture or name or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And let the energy just blast.
Yeah.
And then to amp that up even more, I have a source cube. Okay, so I
Beautiful.
don't know what size this one is.
Ooh, yeah, it's a big one.
Yeah. So
I
what
like
I'll
it.
do is I'll put it on a, I'll put this on top, and I put my wands around, like I load everything up, and
Yeah.
I will, like, if I leave the house, it's blasting energy and bringing the vibe of my house up, but it's
Yeah.
doing healing for that person, animal, event, whatever it might be. Okay.
Incredible. I love it.
Yeah. And another, like, I know, I just wanted like to show the healing glasses. So these are the they heal your eyesight. Okay. So I don't really have issues with eyesight. But I will wear these around the house. Like if I'm watching TV or on the computer a lot, I'll wear them. Or
Yeah.
sometimes I wear them as sunglasses. And I'll just
Are
wear
they
them around.
transitional lens? Are they transitional, those ones?
Um, I don't think these particular ones are. I have another
Yep.
set that are,
But
and I
there
use
are
them as
some.
sunglasses. But I'll
Yeah.
wear these around, and they will heal. They bring the healing frequencies to your eyes. And
Yeah.
so many
Amazing.
people that are wearing glasses are trying to get off their prescription glasses. They will wear these until their eyes have healed enough to discard the glasses.
Well, I know quite a few people who could definitely use
Yeah,
that, like my
yeah,
partner. Yeah, he
yeah.
wears glasses all the time. Yeah,
So
amazing.
I have these. I have a lot of the jewelry. And then a thing that I just purchased recently was the insoles. Okay. So
Oh, the grounding insoles.
yeah. And
Amazing. Yeah.
I never used them before. And they are like wearing little pillows on your feet.
Oh,
They're
is it
so much
nice?
fun. I put them in my
Yeah.
shoes and I'm like kind of loving them. And like I wouldn't say I've noticed like any like giant healing yet, but I've just started wearing them recently. Trying to remember what other products I have. I have lots of the stickers. So these are the
Oh, yeah.
this is my sticker collection of what I'm not using. So I have stickers that I put on my hot water tank, my water pipe thingy, above my shower. Of course, we have the fuel chips in our cars,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
I've had mine for a few years now, and actually I have a couple of them. My car has a little computer thing that says what your miles per gallon is, and my car is rated for 30 highway. So
Okay.
I have gotten up to 75 miles highway with these stickers. Okay,
Wow.
so
That's
yeah,
incredible.
it,
So
it's
much,
not,
you're saving a lot of money there then, especially with
yeah,
fuel prices today. That's
yeah,
crazy.
it's going to vary on a many factors, but
Yeah.
it also helps to clear the air from the exhaust in your car. So it's not just financial, but it's clearing the exhaust.
And it's good
So
for the environment too.
yes, so
Emissions, correct? Yeah.
I've given all my excess stickers to my friends and family so that they're, of course, saving money, but also helping the environment. All right.
Beautiful. I love
Yeah.
that.
And
It's
I'm just
very
trying to,
holistic. His like the frequencies and the products. He really tries to. He thinks of everything and he puts it all in there. Like
it's
anything you can think
genius.
of, he's already. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's genius.
He's already done.
So on my washer and dryer, I've got the washer and dryer, like someone made, a sheet like this.
Oh yes, I have. I have
So
those.
I
Yeah,
got them to my washer and dryer. So you don't need soap or dryer sheets or any of that for your laundry to come out clean. All right. So
beautiful.
how beautiful is that, not putting soap into the water that we drink,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Yeah.
So good. So much better for the environment and
Yeah.
also for our clothes and our pockets, our wallets. Let's face it.
Yeah.
That matters
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think what else I've got. Like the jewelry is beautiful because it's number one, it's fun to wear and you're helping others as you walk around a crowd, but it's attractive and it's fun to wear. So there's a lot of different choices that he's created and even
Yeah,
more coming out. So it's
yeah. I
very
love that.
exciting. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
great time we live in. And I mean, I think that everyone who's interested should definitely have a look. I mean, what would you recommend to someone who wants to get closer to source?
Right.
Would you recommend they start with the Jedi sessions or they just pop on to Smarty's Corner? Or what would you recommend if they wanted to find out more?
Well, I would say that they should go to his Telegram pages. He's got a bunch
Right.
of them, but the King John Smarty Telegram page, and we could put that link into the description of this video. And I think that's a good way. Like, he's got a great sense of humor, and he's going to show you information that you may or may not have seen before. So we call that red pilling people. You know, there's a lot of info he brings out about the UFOs, but also about the geopolitical system and the corruption and blah, 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 blah. And also the commands that we work on. So our group is called the Jedis. And so he'll put out a command to reinforce a certain command. So we will all work on that together to see faster results.
We're pushing energy behind an intention.
Yes.
We're commanding it, and then we are validating with a done statement, saying it's done, it's going to be done. Yeah. Yeah, I love that.
And you can now, a starter person is going to feel a lot of insecurity. So what we would teach someone to do is use a pendulum or muscle testing to say, can I do this? And then afterwards, have I done this? Is it complete? Well, after you've been doing that for a while, you don't really need to test that. You have a knowing. Like, everyone has their different way of feeling it. For me, it's a knowing. It's handled. Like, and to me, who's the most impatient person on planet Earth, I love it because you know, you don't have to sit there for an hour beaming energy into somebody like you do in Reiki,
meditating. Yeah, I mean, we can still do that. There's still great things, but this is much more efficient.
It's so good to learn about how energy works in that. But it's like, here it is, handle it, you know. And
it's so simple, isn't it?
Perfect.
Yeah,
perfect.
It's perfect for anyone. Yeah.
So I would recommend probably starting with King John Smarty Telegram group. And, you know, just like start to become familiar with his posts and things. And there's other groups. There's an animal healing. There's a healing group. There's a Amber and missing persons alert group. And there's some other groups you can put information there if you need a healing. So the Telegram is a good resource. I would also say smartiescorner.com. Of course, the products are amazing. And like, these charms you can often get for about $55. Okay.
Yep.
I know there's a lot of financial hardship right now, but if you can find that $55 when they're on sale, grab one. And then it's very passive. All you do is wear it. And you've got so many good things happening. But then also on those websites are links to, it's a system or an app called Bubble Up, where these free hollows are super well organized, where you can print them to your device or your phone. And they've done a fabulous job on that.
Oh, they're incredible. Bob, I believe, from Australia. He, like, I've got the weight loss one right now with all the different weight loss frequencies. I'm trying to lose that baby weight. So it's really, there's so many different things there. It's incredible.
They've done an amazing job with the organization and just thinking about organizing all the stuff they've done there. So you can search through those and pull down what you need for your own healing and request your own healing. But then what I would recommend is the videos. So there's a lot of videos. There's a YouTube channel and all that, but there's the Jedi calls that were done even maybe 4 or 5 years ago. That contain great information and in proof of what has happened. Like, there's been people in our group that have been healed from, you know, life-threatening situations like that. So
they're the real truth calls. I haven't actually seen them myself. Right. I need to get onto those myself. Yeah,
the real truth calls were basically group phone calls, and you know, Smarty would like lead them and talk about a topic or whatever, but people would call in with their problems, and we would all work on healing that person or their issue or whatever it would be simultaneously. I was on the calls, but I was usually muted and did it telepathically, if you will. It was hard to break through and get airtime.
It is. I've been on a couple of the Jedi calls, and it's really hard, and you don't want to interrupt someone by accident. There's a lot of good energy as well. It's like, whoo.
And then we've been doing some Zoom, like they're usually impromptu Zoom calls or Telegram calls. Luckily, some of them have been recorded. So if you have the time to go back through and listen to them, it's a great resource because you get to know the people, number one, but also like kind of how it all works. And Smarty does kind of show new people how to use the technology, which is so simple, but it is really good for people to hear. You know, One last thing I did want to say is about these hollows, the free ones, okay, or any of them, is you can stack them. So let's say you printed a bunch, you have an issue, okay, or whatever you want to work on. You can stack as many of these as you like and have
Make it more potent by doing that. Yeah.
Yes. And like,
I love
again,
that.
have them near your water and your food because you're consuming, oops, sorry. You're consuming the food or the water and it goes to every cell of your body, bringing those healing frequencies to you. So,
Because water holds resonance and memory. So once it's there, it's there. Yeah, I love that.
So by, amping up the vibration of what you consume, it's going to only help you, right?
That's brilliant. Yeah. I love it. It's just so simple.
It's so simple. Yeah.
I wish I found this earlier. I mean, I'm so new. I've been in this for 4 months now and I'm loving every second of it. So definitely, yeah.
I tell you, I get up and I'm checking Smarty's post all the time.
Yeah.
Like he'll put things out in the commands and things, and it's a way for me to see what's really going on out there because there's so much and misinformation out there. And he'll put videos out now. Often things in these videos are not 100% true, so we can discern what the percentage of truth in that video is. Okay, so we listen to it because there's a reason he shared it with us, and then we use our discernment. Okay, so that's what we should be learning through the Jedi.
Something I'm working on
is discernment, because there's a lot of people, they may say things that sound great, but you have to discern, are they actually telling the truth? Yeah,
it's important getting to the truth, especially like right now. It's a crazy time we live in, so for us to be aligned with that truth and to really not buy into the fear or whatever else is going on around there. It's so important to keep that frequency high, right?
You couldn't even make this stuff up if you tried, right?
It's wild. It's wild. Yeah.
So that's a quick overview of the Smarty products. Like, I would say, go to the website, look around. If you can purchase something that you'll use, that makes sense because it's easy. But then the free hollows are free. You can't beat that. And the free ones maybe have a little less juice behind them than the paid products. Like this, our charms and our bracelets and our jewelry are called reloadables. So that means whenever a new frequency is thought of or determined, it's automatically updated into your jewelry. Well,
I felt that. I've actually felt it in mine. It's sort of heating up, and I get like a pinging sound in my ear, like I'm like, what's that? Frequency. Yeah.
What happens is, somebody will say, "Hey, have you done a hollow for X, Y, or Z?" Boom, he creates it, and then he adds it to everyone's stuff like that. Well, it's a no-brainer because you don't have to do anything.
Yeah, I love that.
Beautiful.
I love that.
Yeah.
So amazing. Yeah. Well, Sue, we might have to wrap it up. My little girl is starting to get upset. So thank you so much for being here today and letting me interview you. It's been wonderful.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much. And I look forward to talking with you again soon.
Definitely. I'll be linking Sue's channel down below, everyone, and also her blog website. Yeah.
Cool. So thank you so much. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.